2018 is an election year for Indiana, and 3 state executive offices, including the Secretary of State position, are up for election. News Inc. Indiana's Jake Thomas has more on this election cycle.
This year's election day for Indiana will be on Tuesday, November 6th, and one former Ball State employee hopes to see his name on the election ballot. George Wolfe, who used to be the director of Ball State's Center for Peace and Conflict Studies, will now serve as the Green Party's candidate for Secretary of State in this year's elections for Indiana.
And they just recruited me. They wanted me to run for this particular position. I've never been approached to run for a political office in the past, so this was my opportunity to sort of jump in the waters.
Managing Director of the BOWEN Center for Public Affairs and Associate Professor of Political Science at Ball State University, Charles Taylor says that Wolfe's chances of finishing in the top 2 of this year's race are going to be tough.
If the odds are stacked so hard against them, I mean, first of all, they've got to meet the hurdle of getting on the ballot. Then if they do get on the ballot, because of the sort of system we have, third-party candidates usually don't get that many votes if there are two, if there's a Democrat and a Republican in the race.
It has been more than 100 years since a non-Democrat or Republican has won the Secretary of State office, and that was John H. Thompson in 1845, representing the Whig Party.
Wolfe believes that a third-party Secretary of State would help end the gerrymandering issue that Indiana has.
Worse, and both parties are guilty of it, and I think only a Secretary of State, which is the chief election officer in the state, only a Secretary of State that is from outside those two political parties, two major political parties, can really get that done.
Currently, Wolfe's campaign is focusing on getting enough signatures to place him on the ballot when it comes time to vote in November. His campaign will need over 30,000 signatures to have his name on that ballot. In Muncie, Jake Thomas, News Inc. Indiana.
All right, well, in celebration of random